Today we're going to cover the macro and microeconomic view of the real estate market as a whole in Miami-Dade County and Broward County for the month of April of 2020. Welcome to episode 6 of Keys to Real Estate. My name is Bryan Roach, your real estate agent here in Miami, Florida. Let's get started. Thank you guys for joining me back. This is episode 6. I'm super excited to share with you all what has been transpired through this last couple of weeks and month in the real estate market. Now we're going to start off with a macro view of what has been going on in the US as a whole with the buyers and sellers in the real estate market, and we have some amazing charts to describe and explain what has been going on. Starting with the first chart, take a closer look. So I want to start you guys off with this first chart talking about the impact of COVID-19 to real estate showings in North America. With this chart, we're going to get a better bird's eye view of what has been happening with our buyers throughout the US. Now, this information is provided to us by the Showing Time website, which is a program that US realtors use to select showing requests for properties that are on the market. We start in January 12th, and you can see the upward trend we were having with showings throughout the US. And right when we reached the beginning of the spring market on March 3rd, we saw that big decrease, which actually represents a 25% decrease in showings that were happening at that time. Now, keep in mind, for example, if we had 100 showings on March 3rd, by March 31st, we were only having 75 showings in general in the US. That doesn't mean that no properties were being shown. It just means that 25% less amount of buyers were actively looking at the time because they were scared for their health, quarantined in their home. Now, the great news is, as you can see, starting in the month of April, we had that pretty quick recovery, bringing our buyer showing levels back up to where they were in January 12th. Which is great because this is a great sign showing that our buyer confidence is coming up. They're trusting the process. They're going out there to see properties. And it's also telling us the effects of what the low interest rates have done to the real estate market. Buyers have locked in those low rates, and now they have to go out and see properties so they can send in offers to take advantage of these low interest rates and purchase their home with that low rate. Now, with this second slide, we can appreciate the March Buyer Traffic Index. I know we're going to talk about the April market update, but we also got to consider what happened in March since this information was recently provided to us. Again, this information is brought to us by the Showing Time application that all real estate agents use across the US. As you can see in the legend to your bottom right, the color gray means that there was a weak buyer traffic. The light blue color means that there was a very stable buyer traffic throughout the month of March. And the dark blue color shows that there was very strong buyer traffic throughout the month of March. As you can see, for us Floridians here, we have had a very stable buyer traffic throughout the month of March, and that is estimated to just keep on getting better, especially with the buyer confidence coming back. People feeling more comfortable in going out to see properties either virtually or physically and sending in offers. So this is another piece of evidence that we have showing us that real estate deals are getting done and buyers are still in need and in the lookout for properties to purchase. This chart is very important. I want you guys to take a closer look. It covers the February Seller Traffic Index, and this information is actually brought to us by the National Association of Realtors throughout the different states of the United States. As you can see in the legend in the right, every state that is in gray shows a weak seller traffic, meaning there's not that many sellers putting their home on the market. Any state that is in light blue means that there is a stable amount of sellers putting their homes for sale on the market compared to the amount of buyers that there are available. And any state that is in dark blue showing a strong seller traffic, meaning there's a lot of more sellers putting their home on the market than there are of buyers. So as you can tell from this chart, we started the year with a lack of inventory throughout many of the states of the United States. For us Floridians here, you can tell that we had a very stable seller traffic index as well. So we had a stable seller traffic as well as a stable buyer's traffic. What's very important and what's even a bigger of a threat to the real estate industry, aside from the COVID-19, because COVID-19 is a humanitarian crisis, not a real estate crisis. This is actually one of the biggest threats to the real estate industry because we are seeing low levels of inventory throughout the country, and the amount of buyers that are coming in, as you can see from the previous chart, are high and increasing every month, especially after buyers are regaining their trust and confidence in going out there to see properties and send offers to properties. So what's very important is the difference we're seeing right now in seller traffic from the month of February to this next chart showing us the March seller traffic. Take a look. Now with this chart, we'll be able to see the March seller traffic index, and you can already tell the huge difference in colors from the previous chart. As you can see, there's a lot more gray in here, showing that there's a weak seller traffic index in a lot of the states, including us here in Florida. So what this means is that there's a lot less sellers putting their home on the market, and or sellers that were on the market that decided to take it off for whatever reason, whether it's COVID or not COVID, that they decided to stop selling their home and take it off the market. Now, that's actually the wrong thing to do at this time. If you are a seller or you were thinking of selling your home this year, this is the best time for you to sell your property because there's a lot less competition in the marketplace and there's an increasing amount of buyers. So just do the math. With a lot more buyers in the marketplace looking for a home like yours to buy and a lot less sellers to compete against, you will be able to get a lot more traffic through your home, possibly also push the envelope in terms of price and get better contract terms. So this is very crucial and is actually one of the biggest threats to the real estate industry that is not COVID-19, is actually the lack of inventory. Because at the end of the day, people are still buying properties, and those sellers that decided to kind of hold off a little bit, take it off the market, those sellers are actually jeopardizing themselves from getting top dollar and capitalizing on all the buyers that are currently looking for a property like theirs to purchase. The best suggestion I can give you right now as a real estate agent, if you are considering to sell, reach out to your local real estate agent and put your property on the market now because you will be able to capitalize on all those buyers that are actively looking. Now that we got a chance to cover the macro perspective of what has been going on in the real estate industry in the United States, I wanted to cover a more micro view of what has been happening in South Florida for Miami-Dade County and Broward County through the month of April of 2020, covering April 1st through April 30th. As you can see, the first thing we look at is how many active listings we received for this month. And in Miami-Dade, we received 2,044 active properties come to the marketplace in this month of April. We've also received 752 properties that have gone into a pending status, which means that a buyer sent an offer to a seller, they've agreed on the terms, and put an escrow deposit. So there were 752 homes that went under contract in the month of April in Miami-Dade County. And lastly, in Miami-Dade alone, for the month of April, we've had 1,356 closings just in the 30 days of the month of April. So that's actually a pretty big number if you think about it. Next, for my Broward residents, we've actually received for the month of April a total of 2,037 properties hit the market brand new just in this month, which is a pretty decent number as well, a pretty good number. Also, we've gotten 725 properties under contract and changed into a pending status. Once again, that's when a buyer and a seller agree on a price and the buyer puts an escrow deposit, putting the property under contract. And finally, in Broward alone, there's been 1,778 closings just in the month of April. So it's actually a lot higher number than in Miami-Dade by approximately 400 properties sold. And once again, the facts are showing that there's a lot of properties being sold and put on the market throughout this month of April. There's been a decrease of the amount of properties that actually hit the market in April than they did in March or in February, which kind of goes alongside with the earlier charts that we showed you guys, stating that there are sellers that most likely pull their properties off the market or are waiting to put it on a different time. But at the end of the day, with a lot less competition as a seller, the best suggestion that I can give you today is to talk to your local agent and try to put your property on the market now to take advantage of these buyers that are already qualified, ready to make an offer on your home. But if your home's not going to market, they're not going to know. So take advantage of this time. It really is a great time to try to push the envelope in terms of price and get great contract terms. So that's the best thing you can do for yourself as a seller at this time. Thank you all for joining me on this month's market update. We got a chance to look at a macro perspective and micro perspective of what has been going on in the real estate industry. If you guys want to get more videos real estate related and see what has been going on, to stay up to date, don't be afraid to click on the subscribe button below or send me a DM if you have any other specific question that I can help you with. My name is Bryan Roach, your real estate agent from Miami, Florida, and I'll see you next time.